Hello everyone, this is Ether Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. So, today I finally actually remembered to record a match in Ether Raids. Spoiler alert, this video contains really bad gameplay. My thought process was good, but the execution was absolutely garbo. So, as you'll see here, the team is pretty decent team. Has a bunch of turn 1 specials up. Pretty deadly. No legendary zero or anything though. So there's that, of course. But the big thing here is this Seliph here with Tearfing. And so this Seliph is able to tank Nino because again the Tearfing Refine basically gives him free miracle as long as he's above 50% HP at the start of combat. So, that's a huge problem because Nino will not be able to one-round KO him because she cannot. Unfortunately, with their level 4 plus 1 defense fort, he's also able to, with his 76 res bulk as a red unit, it's impossible for Nino without the bonus stats to pick up the theoretical one-shot, which of course would result in a double and a kill. So, we don't have too many options here. So I ended up playing this pretty poorly, as you'll see. So my game plan basically is to take out Innis and then repo back with Nino so she's so she ends up to the left of where she is right now. And Legendary Zero would be below her where she is right now, and Kaden would be where Nino is right now, if you can imagine that. So what ends up would happen is Seliph would move down, would get danced by Azura, and then he would attack Nino, survive, and lunge. Now, I intentionally broke the structures like this. I left the snowman there because by doing that, Seliph is completely sandwiched between all my units. So none of the enemy units could use Wings of Mercy. And what that would allow me to do is, well, face tank. There's an Ophelia back there. That would probably get danced by Micaiah. Because she's hit by Tactics Room. So there's no way Nino's going to get danced unless she goes completely to the right for some odd reason, which would not happen. And then, so Nino would also just have to face tank an Ophelia, which you've seen has happened many times before. So I wasn't too concerned about that, but it was mostly the execution here. So let's get started because it's a 7-minute clip because I'm thinking a lot here since I'm making sure that the plan's actually going to work and everything's going to go smoothly. Now, of course, from my experience in Ether Raids matches, I was basically 100% sure the bolt trap that's I'm going to have Nino step on is real. But I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm too brain dead, but it didn't occur to me that it would proc Innis's Vantage. And he has Glacies as a special, and I believe double drive attack support from Festival Micaiah, and he has 2 adjacent units to boost his attack and res by Nidhogg, so he hits pretty hard. And as you'll see, it's not going to go well. I'm doing a lot of thinking here though because I don't want to waste turns, because usually when I lose matches while playing Brain Dead, it's because I make some silly mistakes in positioning or make a bad play and I just completely waste turns. So here I'm like, this is okay. I can go ahead and move Nino here. The big thing though is Tactics Room. If Tactics Room wasn't around, I would have had much easier time fixing up my goof. But of course, level 3 Tactics Room, very crippling. So yeah, I expected it to be real. And then here, I think my first mistake, since I didn't remember that Vantage was a thing, I ended up healing Nino out of Vantage range, and that is a massive mistake, as you'll see here. So at this point, I'm getting ready to set up Nino to go attack. And so I hover over and I'm like, oh wait. So yeah, Nino cannot kill. First of all, because he's also in brazen attack res range now, so I would also need Caden in range to get the one shot anyways. So things are going absolutely downhill from here. So I had to pause because 3 of my units are hit by tactics room. So I'm trying to think, I gotta get my units out of here. But my next mistake is, I don't know why, but I thought air could attack Innis for some reason without getting countered. I don't know why I thought that, but clearly not going to work, as you'll see as I hover over. That's what happens while you play Brain Dead. And the big problem is I can't really do much, because if I can't initiate the combat, I'm just going to guarantee a loss of a unit. And so I'm like, wait, there's Vantage, facepalm. So yeah, another dirt play there. And of course, Nino cannot survive the actual Glacius proc. Maybe she could if she was like on the defense tile, but then if she's on the defense tile, she cannot handle the likes of like Seliph with Lunge, and then Micaiah, of course, because she has built-in Hardy Berry. It just wouldn't work out. So I paused again and forget to resume recording, but here I just take out Innis with Veronica, but then I forget air is hit by tactics room. I don't know how I forget so many things, and I realized at this point the match was over. There was literally nothing I could do to really salvage it. Like maybe I could win barely, but with basically no one left, because there's that Nino there who's just way too fast, and if I'm not in Vantage range, she has Spectral Tome, so all those buffs that Legendary Zero are giving would result in some nice juicy debuffs. If I was really trying to salvage the match, I'd probably just move Nino somewhere in range to bait someone and then like draw back with air, but I was like, at this point there's not much I can do. I knew it was over because Solo's gonna move and get danced by Zura and all those shenanigans if I have everyone out of range. So I'm just like, at this point it's kind of whatever. I was debating whether to get rid of the tactics room, and I was like, that wouldn't do anything better. So at this point, it's already basically a lost cause. Nothing I can really do, unfortunately. So we're just going to get the swap in here, and Seliph is going after the green buddies, so of course he's going to attack Nino and live, as you can see. So I knew Ophelia was going to Wings of Mercy and use her AoE special, and of course Micaiah of Hardy Berry is going to take down Nino. And as you can see, unfortunately, I already calculated this out. I knew Veronica wouldn't be able to kill Ophelia. I was just double checking to make sure I wasn't paranoid. But here I see, I can buff up Veronica for speed to get her to double Ophelia and so, but it really won't matter because there's too many enemies and Caden's too slow to pick up some kills where I need him to. And of course you don't want to risk the heavy trap being real because there's a pretty high chance that it's real. I would be kind of surprised if the heavy trap that's more towards the left is real, because yeah, I don't know why you would do that. I don't but yeah, you can see there, I figured you could do this, but it really doesn't matter. If I take out Nino, she gets Veronica gets bopped to Micaiah, and then Seliph takes out Caden. It's just not gonna go well at this point. There's literally nothing I can do. I just don't have enough attackers, and of course Azura has Moonbow ready and her bond skill's active and is on a defense tile, and of course has Book of Shadows, so it's just not going to be a good day. The best I can do at this point is basically nothing. I just dance Caden to dance Caden. I think I'm pretty sure Veronica wouldn't have been able to kill. She's just way too fast. Even with the +9 speed from Caden, there's just nothing I can do. So rip match, unfortunate, but I'm not entirely too sure what I would have done, to be honest. I probably would have just approached, what's his name? Innis from the defense tile, which would have been 10 times better instead of going onto the bolt trap. But the thing is, I would have had to step on the bolt traps in some fashion, so I was not entirely sure how that was going to work. Because of lunge. And with the way things were set up, I don't think I would have been able to deny the Wings of Mercy spam. Because there's also, of course, Dancer's Wings of Mercy, so you can't just have your units like in a checkerboard pattern to avoid any Wings of Mercy range unit from attacking. So I don't know, it was a pretty decent defense team. Of course, having the level 4+1 defense fort really made a difference, because I'm pretty darn sure with my calculations that Nino would be able to one round KO Seliph, and of course then there wouldn't be any problems with Wings of Mercy. But yeah, that's definitely kind of a setup that I haven't seen a lot of. Maybe it's because people don't want to build Seliph and stuff, but like the Refine is pretty darn good. Of course, his res is not amazing, which is why sometimes Nino can still just straight up one round KO the guy. And she's green of all colors, so I can see it. And of course, like blue dragons are popular and such, so I can understand why people might not want to build him. But he's pretty darn consistent for against most other units for proccing Wings of Mercy, because he has pretty high HP. He has low speed, of course, but he's not likely to get one shot. So if he has to get two shot, then his weapon's going to proc. And of course, WOM memes are going to happen. So I don't know. I feel like eventually I'm going to build a Seliph, because I did get a rando 5-star Pity Breaker Seliph, but right now I don't feel like it's worth building him, because first of all, he's not +10, so he doesn't have the bulk to consistently live like Legendary Tiki, for example. Like one shot from Legendary Tiki, so it wouldn't be worth, because they would just end turn, and well, things wouldn't end well. But probably would end up being more consistent than my current Cadence setup. So, but anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. I thought I'd just commentate over this, because otherwise just showing this video would be quite confusing. Because the one thing that Aetheryz replays just can't show is the thought process behind things. But yeah, if my grand scheme actually worked, like if that bolt trap wasn't real, then the whole game plan actually would have worked, and it would have been super galaxy brain cool. But unfortunately, I overlooked Vantage, and so that was basically the end of the match already. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye.